Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to break down a tool that a lot of us use every single day, but we might not be getting everything we can out of it. We're talking about Microsoft 365, and we're going to explore how it can be a real strategic game changer, especially if you're running a small or medium-sized business.
All right, let's just dive right in. To really get why a platform like Microsoft 365 is so powerful, we have to start by being honest about the problems it's designed to solve. We're talking about those daily headaches that so many of our businesses are wrestling with right now. So if you're leading a team or you're running your own business, this probably feels really familiar, right? You've got one app for your team chat, a totally different one for file sharing, maybe another one for project management over here, and it's all buried under this mountain of internal emails that makes finding anything feel like a total nightmare. And all the while, you've got this nagging feeling in the back of your head. Is our company's data even secure? It's just exhausting, and it's a huge drag on getting anything done. But here's the big idea for today. What if those exact points of friction, the messy workflows, the communication gaps, all that security anxiety, what if they weren't just problems you had to deal with? What if you could actually flip them and turn them into your company's biggest strengths? Creating reliable, repeatable wins for your team, day in and day out. So how do we actually make that leap? Well, let's take a look at the platform that makes this whole transformation from nagging pain points to real strategic advantages not just possible, but actually pretty practical. To get this, we really have to shift our thinking. See, Microsoft 365 isn't just a subscription for Word and Excel anymore, not even close. You have to think of it as an integrated ecosystem. It's like a complete operational platform that's designed to be the central nervous system for your entire business. It's truly a strategic investment in a whole new way of working. And here's exactly how it tackles those headaches we talked about. So instead of those fragmented chats and endless email chains, you get seamless, real-time collaboration all in one spot. Instead of those tedious manual processes, you get to build streamlined, automated workflows. And instead of constantly worrying about data breaches, you get a really robust security framework that's protecting your most valuable information. Okay, that all sounds great in theory, right? But what's actually in the box? What are the specific tools inside this thing that are going to help you get those wins? Let's break it all down. Now, the real magic here is how all these pieces work together. Yeah, you start with the classic Office apps we all know, but now they're cloud-powered, so you can literally work from any device, anywhere. Then you've got tools like Teams and SharePoint that let your entire team jump into a single document and edit it at the same time. No more emailing final_v2_final_final.docx back and forth. And on top of all that, you can layer in AI tools to handle the repetitive, boring stuff, all inside a system that can actually grow as your business grows.
Of course, for any small or medium business, cost is always a huge factor. And Microsoft has structured its pricing to make this really accessible. You can get started with Business Basic, which is just perfect if your team mostly works from web browsers and mobile apps. Stepping up to Business Standard gets you all the full desktop applications. And then there's Business Premium. That's the real powerhouse. It bundles everything with advanced security and compliance tools, which we're going to talk about in just a sec.
And you can see here there are clear steps up in the investment between the different plans. But the key thing to remember isn't just about matching your budget. It's about matching your actual business needs. Are you a lean startup that basically lives in the cloud? Basic might be perfect. Or do you handle really sensitive client data and need that rock-solid security? Then Business Premium is probably the right call.
Now, this is a really big one. For any business today, security is just not optional. And Microsoft 365 comes packed with features that pretty much act like a digital bodyguard for your company. We're talking about serious protection against phishing scams, malware, and all sorts of other nasty threats. It also has tools to help you comply with regulations like GDPR, and it includes simple but incredibly powerful stuff like multi-factor authentication, which can stop the vast majority of account breaches all by itself.
Okay, enough with the features and plans. Let's see how this all comes together in the real world. I want to show you a couple of quick examples of real businesses that turn their biggest headaches into major wins. So first up, let's look at a 50-person architecture firm. Their big challenge was that their teams were spread out all over the place. Communication was a total mess, and it was causing serious project delays. So by bringing in Microsoft Teams for all their communication and SharePoint for managing their design files, they completely changed how they worked. Suddenly, everyone was on the same page, literally working on the same documents in real time. And the result? Get this, a staggering 40% drop in their internal email traffic. Just let that number sink in for a second. That's not just a cleaner inbox, that is hundreds of hours of reclaimed time that their architects could spend actually designing buildings instead of digging through emails looking for attachments. All right, here's another one, a growing e-commerce retailer. Their customer service team was just getting totally swamped by manual tasks. So they used a tool in the suite called Power Automate to build these simple workflows that automatically sent customer emails to the right person and logged everything in their sales system. And the result? Way faster responses, much happier customers, and a direct positive impact on their sales efficiency.
So seeing these results is pretty inspiring, right? And it probably has you thinking, okay, that's great, but how do I actually do this for my business? Well, let's lay out a clear, actionable path to get you started.
This 5-step checklist is basically your roadmap. First, just take a look at what you're using now and figure out where the real pain is. Then get super specific about your goals. Is it about faster collaboration? Is it about better security? Once you know that, then you can choose the right plan. And honestly, my best advice here is, don't try to boil the ocean. Start small. Roll out the essentials like Teams and OneDrive, get your team comfortable. And then you can expand from there. Just always be listening to their feedback.
Here's another great way to frame that same journey, just broken down into 4 key phases. It starts with that same critical assessment of your needs. Then you plan your launch. But phase 3 is absolutely crucial, training your people. A powerful tool is completely useless if your team doesn't actually know how to use it well. And then finally, you're always evaluating how things are going and looking for new ways to use the platform as your business evolves.
And really, this is the ultimate goal. The whole point is to use these integrated tools to shift the entire posture of your business. You want to move away from constantly being reactive, putting out fires like lost files, missed messages, security scares, and start moving toward proactively building better systems that are actually designed to drive growth and success.
So as we wrap up this explainer, I'll just leave you with this one question. Think about your own daily operations for a minute. What is that one reoccurring pain point, that one persistent headache that you could transform into your next big repeatable win? Because finding that answer, that's where this whole journey truly begins.